Hello, and welcome. I think, if I remember right, that this is episode 8. My god, time flies. That means 8 weeks. Crazy. Anyways, in today's episode, I want to talk to you and remind you about one of the most important things that you can do. In my opinion, of course, but there is a lot of evidence also to support this. So it's not just a random thing. And I'm pretty sure that you already know this because we do. So you don't let your phone run out of battery. If we ever on our phone get down to the red indicator telling us that, oh my god, we are below 20% capacity on our phone, we straight up begin to wonder and check where is our charger, when can we plug the phone in to make sure that the phone will not run out of battery. Because what would happen if our phone runs out of battery? So we are extremely cautious, making sure that our phone don't run out of battery. And what do we do with ourselves? We push and push and push and push, and we ignore our own little battery indicator signaling that we are on low charge, or whatever is the word. So one of the most important things that we can do is to recharge. And of course, I am not talking about the bloody phone. Actually, I think it's quite healthy to allow our phones to kind of run out of battery every once in a while and to kind of just ignore the phone. But that's another personal opinion and maybe talk for another day. But as said, to remind ourselves to recharge. So, is recharging something that you do? I wonder. And what kind of stuff do you do to recharge? Do you nap? Nap after lunch? Nap in the afternoon? Do you lay down in the sofa and stare in the ceiling? Do you go for a walk without any input in your ears? What do you do to recharge? There are tons of different ways, of course, that we can recharge. I just mentioned a few. Because it's a few of my favorite ways of doing it. Recharging by napping, by going for a walk without listening to stuff other than the sound of nature and the surrounding sounds. But napping is, of course, a nice way, but that was not what I was about to say. But recharging is really important. As said, we would not let our phone run out of battery, yet for ourselves, we push. I have had over the years as a yoga teacher so many conversations with students who have been in the same situation. And burnouts is such an important part, or not an important, but a big part of our society today. That burnouts are like a common thing, which it is. It's a common thing, but it's a sad thing at the same time that we have so many people ending up with burnouts, and not just one burnout, but people get a second one or maybe even a third one. And I'm not saying that you people or the people who have a burnout or who are facing a burnout, who will have a burnout, who has ever had a burnout, that there's something wrong with them or you. Definitely not. I think that sometimes it's a bit of a problem with our society today, our culture today, and I am by no means a very religious person, but sometimes I can think about the aspect of that seventh day, which was supposed to be about resting. Again, I don't want to go back to the period where that day was physically needed because there were so much work being done on the other 6 days. We're most of us not in that kind of lifestyle, but we seem to forget the fact that we are overwhelming our brain in a way where our brain is not evolved to handle all of this. Our brain hardly ever gets time off. And we are all different, and we react to stress and stimulants differently. But we all have a few basic needs as humans. Sleep is one of them. Resting is another of them. And sleep and resting is not the same thing. We need both, and they both fill different purposes. But rest, recharging, is really something that we need also. Recharging, like what we do with our phones, for instance, filling the battery by plugging it in and giving it more juice, recharging the battery. And learning to see perhaps the signals in ourselves when it's time to do that. When do we need to recharge our own battery so that we don't just go and finally have drained our battery? But to learn to see and feel when it's time to recharge, to allow rest, to allow moments of non-doing and just kind of space out, allowing the brain a bit of time of non-doing, a bit of off time, simply recharging. So one of the smartest things that you can do for yourself is to incorporate moments of rest and recharging, preferably every day, but at least throughout your week. As you know, I'm a yoga teacher, so it's easy for me to think about yoga as a way to do that, but there are other ways as well. But if you think about yoga, then for instance, it could be perhaps giving yourself a daily shavasana. You don't even have to do the yoga poses before, just doing a shavasana. Roll out your mat, take 5 to 10 minutes, put the timer, and just do a shavasana. Use an eye pillow over your eyes, a blanket on top, and just allow yourself to do nothing. Of course, there's all of these lovely restorative yoga poses that you can do as well, staying in them from everything from 5 to 20 minutes, and recharge your system, nervous system, with a simple pose. Or, as said, not involving yoga, and simply laying down on the sofa, not with a phone, not with a book, just spacing out, napping, closing the eyes, staring at the ceiling, going for walks, not power walks necessarily, but just slow, which is very easy now because it's such icy conditions on the streets, but just slowly walking. So allow yourself to take care, to slow down, to recharge. Take care of yourself. And as always, I would love to hear your best tips on how you recharge. Feel free to leave them in a comment or send me a message. I would love to hear it. And if you have any tips or suggestions on topics that you would like me to cover, also send me a message. I would be curious to hear what you have on your mind. Take so well care of yourself. That's a very weird way of ending it, but take good care of yourself, and I hope we get to see each other soon.